how this is going to play out. It's going to show the who's and the ones who got dogged out, who got 2.2 million. That's enough to feed the whole hood. So the internet, I mean, the government is going to play as if he didn't do right by that money. I don't believe that. I do believe that he used the money for what he said he did. Now, did he put a value on what he feel like he deserved because he created all this? That's at his discretion. Who's to say he can't say he's worth more than what everybody else said? You know, if it's 2.3 million, he could say I'm worth 500,000 out of this 2.3. That give you 1.8, 1.9, you know, whatever. But that's cool. But long as he didn't blow it all on himself, bro, I can't be mad at it. But somebody will be mad at the fact that they know the numbers. You know, nobody knew what his pockets was looking like. Nobody was in those business meetings. Nobody knew that he was getting 800,000 installment payments and all that. And then the ones who worked for him, if they realized that they was only making $10 an hour and you got 2 point, that can be bad for them too. So this could go either way. This is going to be bigger than just gang banging. This is going to be about integrity and how people morals and their values feel, what they stood on. Because sometimes, you know, I tell people like this, be careful who you choose to call your family, you know, because, you know, or your homeboy, because, you know, the wrong homeboy can destroy your life. You know, a wrong homeboy could put you in a situation where you just riding with him to the store. He got a gun in the car. He probably knocked somebody down 2 weeks ago. He don't cop to the gun. And then, you know the code. You can't cop to the gun. Now y'all both in there. But you touched the gun just as much as him one time. Like, let me see that mother. Now both of y'all press on there. Then what y'all go do?
Sit there and wait. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to wait. And that's a bad situation. You hate to be in it. And a lot of people find themselves in that situation. And you pray that your homeboy takes the rap for his gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it don't work like that though. You know what I'm saying? They be like, man, just stay down, man. They don't got the numbers. They got both our prints on the gun. Somebody's gonna have to take to, well, man, just be quiet, man. Let's go to 12 in a box with it. You know what I'm saying? They don't know who had it. So, and some people don't think like that. Some people think like, oh, nigga, like, why would I go 12 in a box with you, nigga? Because you're scared to be a man and own up to something that's yours. How can you expect the dude that'll let you crash out for him, but he won't stand up and be a man for himself? So
right. A lot of people been in that situation, man. And usually, man, if it's your gun, you take the gun if they charging you both for the gun. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, and I'm not saying that that's how people should, you know, you let your lawyers figure it out. This ain't legal advice. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's normally how cats, you know, do that.
Well, nah, with me, I'm more like this. I'm not saying nothing. I'm going to keep a zip lip. I'm going to have my own lawyer. And I'm going to say, prove that it's my gun. If they can't prove it, I'm going to go 12 in that box. Because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure if a nigga got his hand on that gun, 9 out of 10, somebody probably got their hand on that bullet. And that's who the one that's going to catch that case. Whoever got their hand on that bullet. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, correct.
But I don't even telling. I don't even. First of all, I think we got to make choices. We got to be careful who you call your homeboy. You know what I'm saying? If you know you got a friend like that and you ain't on that no more, then don't hang around him. You know, because at the end of the day, most people, you know, they act like they rooting for you, but they really just keeping tabs on you to see if you came up, to see if you still winning, see if you still got that car, that house, you still got the females, you still got the parties. People want to use you for what you got, not for who you are.
Yeah, man, it's wild like that in life, man. That's a lesson people learn becoming a man and getting older, man. You know, when you're younger and it's all, everybody's together, and before everybody starts breaking off, having kids and families, it's easier to holler, you know, y'all go, you know, always have each other's back and stay down. But man, let one of you get more successful than everybody, man. It's a trip.
Right. Cause they gonna feel like you ain't, he ain't looking out for me no more. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's always gonna be. And plus, just cause you knew somebody when you was coming up in high school and middle school, I mean, you know that dude now, you've been going for him for 5 years. Everybody need change. So yeah.
Nah, facts. All right, Nina boys. So man, I wanted to ask you about some of these things that are going out here, but I had to end on one more thing with that last topic, man. Now, Wack 100, man, he's been reported as being one of the guys that, Big U was kind of into it with or whatnot as far as social media is concerned. Now, Wack 100 did what a lot of people think was a commendable act by trying to notify Big U that the feds were coming for him. Now, did you see the interaction with Wack 100 and the guys on the No Jumper cast and how this story played out?
Yeah, Wack 100 actually called Big U wife and informed her that the raid was coming, tell him to get up out of there. And also informed him that, 4 people from his hood is actually testifying against him. So, yeah, but it goes both sides because, he was only, privy to this information because of the mother whose son who passed. So by the woman who, grieved to you, informing you of what's going on, thinking, y'all was on the same team, you betrayed a mother who lost her son to help a man who you didn't actually care about or you was at odds with. It's kind of like playing the monkey in the middle. But if you was only playing the monkey in the middle to help him, it makes sense. But if you saying, I don't rock with that dude, F that dude, and your intentions is not pure, then it's just bad because you can't say you a real with no up heart. You know what I'm saying? You can't have no up heart and say you a real bro. It just don't work like that in the real world, So, I'll say Wack, on that note, I'm gonna give him a 50-50. I'm not gonna give him 100.
Okay. I like to play on words there too. You know what I mean? So you'll say it was a half commendable act and half, kind of still being whack. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, because Wack 100 is a smart dude, man. He's very capable. And him keeping his connections into whatnot, and obviously, and I saw you talk about this before, it seems like he still has some care out there for Big U. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. They spend a lot of time with each other. You know what I'm saying? They kids know each other. The wives hang out with each other. When he was married, his what they hung out with each other. But I could say this about Wack. After me and Spider-Loc fall out, because I only had a problem with Wack because of Spider-Loc. And once I actually, got a chance to really, converse with Wack, I personally, as a person, I get his gripe. I understand his mechanism of thinking. I just, I don't agree the playing around the board, how he do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more like, if I tell people all the time, man, and even the game is not, it's 60% mental, 40% physical. So even if he's not the toughest person, if he's smarter, he's going to dominate you every time. You know what I mean? Because a smart person has no problem with posing as a friend, working as a spy, or even making you feel like you got the upper hand, knowing he's going to get you in the back end. So, Wack is not a tough guy just on the battlefield. He's tough with his brain. So he can, he could tell you 2 + 2 could really be -1 and get away with it. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I've seen him pull that move off with a lot of people. I'm talking about, you can kind of see him talking to somebody, he'll reel them in, they seem like they cool. But I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, I see the angle here. We'll see how this ends. And it's always some kind of fallout or something like that. Then they become back cool because, I don't know, he's getting some out of them. They have some sort of relationship. It's just, this time spent with Suge was well done, it seems like. You know what I mean?
I would actually say that Suge don't think too much of him. Suge don't think he that. I just think that he accumulated information. I think maybe I'd say prison. Prison could teach you to probably see. A lot of people think prison is a bad place, but when you stuck in an environment where can't nobody go nowhere, and you get to see the reality of where people mentality is at. Because I always said, man, if you become 40 and you still think like a 20-year-old, you lost 20 years of your life because you didn't adapt, you didn't evolve. He is the one person who will evolve and adapt to his environment. Wack is not no hardcore. Like when you hear him on these audios and the videos, and he yelling and all that, That's not his pedigree. That dude right now, I think he's a vegan right now. He don't eat no meat. He's very respectful to his woman. He on some fly get money, but you know, everybody got a character on this internet. You know what I mean? Like everybody do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, now I'm in my 40s, and man, I don't wake up thinking about harming another man. You know what I'm saying? But somebody jump out their body, I'm gonna talk that rah-rah because that's where I come from. But if we can holler like real men, and I'm very verbatim with my words, I'm probably gonna be more dominant than you if you're not a person who can comprehend. But if you're a physical person, that's the only way you go resort to me with, let's get out. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, nah, that's true. Now, what do you think about this also? I got to ask this. What do you think about 600 recently trolling Big U? You know what I mean? Like all the trolling he's been doing.
I got to say this, man. 600 just did a video, said Big U hung himself in his cell. I can honestly say, if he think that he's going to survive this summer without anybody approaching him, attacking him from that neighborhood, no, don't get me wrong. He said some shit that he was like, oh man, hey, I did y'all a favor, y'all welcome. You know, because he said a lot of y'all scared of that nigga. I'm the only one that took this man down, fought him, and he's willing to take the you know, the accolades for doing it. I don't think 600 is the reason why Big U is in jail. Now, I'm gonna just say this because I know 600 might watch this. I don't like what you do, but I do understand if you was embarrassed, or you got put in a uncomfortable situation and you couldn't beat them in the streets, you only use what you know. I can understand that, because everybody can't get everybody in the streets. Some people are certain ways. Like some people are old school. You got a problem with me, come see me in the streets. That's the way we do it. Everybody don't got to do it the way you do it. You know what I'm saying? If this was his strong suit, he has a public, influence, a social media audience, and he chose that way. All right, he beat you that way. Do it matter what we think of him? No, I don't. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, 600. I really don't got no problem with you. I don't respect what you do, but I don't got no problem with you, bro. I don't have no problem with you, because what you showed me is, if we can't beat them in the streets, get them on the internet. And that's going to be the new way. If he opened up a door so cold to the point where, he might not be the biggest popular person in the streets, but he popping on that internet, and on that internet, he can kick your all day long. He been whooping on Big U for years now. You know what I'm saying? Calling law disrespectful names. And then guess what? We know that in the streets, most of these dudes is emotional killers. He a buster. He ain't gonna come fight me though. But then he'll look at you like, oh, you ain't gonna say nothing about me on the internet. And it goes both ways. Who go choose which way is right and wrong? Where I come from, where he know we got to get at you in the streets. But since he know he a professional boxer, he chasing money. He don't have it in his heart to go pull up to the rolling 60s and say, where Big U at? I'm gonna get down with you. That would never happen. But we also know that 600 could say what he want to say about Big U, and Big U ain't gonna get on the internet and say what he want to say about him. So who's to say the yay and the nay?